Well, gotta run.
So, if you're not cute, don't be funny. We're gonna go see the Maze Runner today, guys.
I've been waiting for this for 4 years, and I'm not gonna let it. I'm not gonna let the fact that a lot of people are saying, "Oh, the ending sucks. Oh, the ending sucks," ruin it, because I'm sure the ending rules. They just didn't read the book.
I didn't. And the thing about this one is that we're kind of gonna have two different perspectives of this, because he read the book and he loved the book, and I haven't even picked up the book and I haven't even read the back of the book, so I have no clue what any of these people are about or anything. I just know a basic plot, and that's about it. So I'm going in fresh. He's going in basically could basically ruin the whole thing. But this is kind of a big moment for him, because Fox has let him down so many times. With book adaptations of movies.
Aragon, Percy Jackson, it's all been just movies that the only thing the same is character names. So I'm just so happy that this one stays somewhat accurate to the book. In fact, they just cast a guy who, for the second one, which I took one look at him and I was like, yep, that's him. Looks exactly like him. I totally get it. And I am so happy for that, because this movie is just the start of Fox finally getting, maybe we should just start making books that make adaptations that are a little more accurate than just this character and this character, and let's put him in this scenario. How old is he? 12? Let's age him up to 16. I'm sure no one will care.
You know you would have gotten the same you would have gotten the same scenario if you see you'll get the exact same scenario when you see The Fault in Our Stars, right?
Shut up.
Alright guys, we'll be back later.
Okay, so before we start this commentary, I've been fighting a cold lately, so if I get hard to understand, I apologize.
Alright, so, first impressions of the movie.
I liked it. I loved it. It was... Now, granted, it wasn't as accurate as I would like it to be, but it's fine. But it's an adaptation. It's bound to change a few things just to streamline the movie and everything. And you know, looking at it, it was just... And looking at it, a lot of things were the same, were how I imagined them when I was reading the book. Like the outline for the maze,
Hold on. Just text, okay.
Like the maze, the glade, and the... Huh? Alright then. Looking at the outline of the maze, the glade, everything, it was almost exactly like I pictured it in my head. I pictured a few more buildings, a much tighter space, but whatever, I didn't write it, it's not my adaptation, so, you know, they can do what they want.
My interpretation was, it was decent. I didn't hate it. I liked it, but I didn't love it. It's not my favorite thing. I've definitely seen better movies this year. But, the thing that really I was disappointed most about was that of the two trailers that played before this movie, both of them were these split up movies that are coming out later this fall. They were The Hobbits 3 and Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 1. So that was obvious that these young adult novels are taking over the world.
Well, the fact is that this movie was great, and they've already greenlit the sequel. This movie is proving to be something else. It's proving that the Maze Runner is something big. So it's big enough to support a franchise. But you leave the Death Cure in one piece, or so help me God.
All right, so let's go a little more in depth for the Maze Runner, starting with acting. We don't know 100% of the actors' names, but Will Poulter, he was good. He was really good. So if you've seen him in We're the Millers, then you don't know how good of an actor he really is, because other than that, he was just the nerdy little guy. This time, he bulked up. He got all tough. His character is kind of cool. We get to see, this guy whose sanity has been broken by being entrapped inside this structure. And his sanity just continues to break throughout the film and deteriorates until eventually we see it come to a full head.
Now, granted, his character's motivations are a little different because to make sense of the story from the book to the movie to make sense of the story, but he's in there. But it's there. It's the same character for basically. Thomas Brody Sancton, I believe that's his name. I'm just gonna call. I can just pretty much call him Ferb throughout this entire review because he plays the voice of Ferb on Phineas and Ferb. So yeah, he was pretty good through this, and even though he, amongst the cast of largely British actors, was the only one who got to keep his accent. In fact, there was a scene where the girl who plays Teresa, I don't really know her name, she's getting tied up and she's screaming at them, and I'm like, whoa, careful, your British is showing a little.
Although there was Ki Hong Lee, who is a tiny bit of a YouTuber.
He's got like 6 videos out on his channel.
But he is in this, and he is a really good actor. I was amazed at how good of an actor he was. And we don't know. Now, obviously, we don't know names because they didn't have any big name actors in this movie,
which is kind of a good thing because these are young actors. These are guys in their early, late teens that have to pull off this. And Dylan O'Brien did an incredible job as the lead character Thomas, he just basically he is one of the characters that came out exactly the way I pictured him. A lot of the characters did. And I cannot wait to see the character development of most of the characters. I say most because, obviously, this movie, despite it being the first in the trilogy, actually picked off a bunch of the actors in the beginning.
No.
So don't get attached to most of the characters.
For
the most part.
So of course, direction was. I loved that the use of Steadicam and crane shots.
I liked the parts in the maze, actually, where it was...
The maze sequences were brilliantly directed. The use of Steadicam and crane shots throughout the maze made it seem almost like every single turn was going to be something like we were turning and running through the maze with them.
In fact, I loved the first the first scene in the maze where Westball basically just set it up like it was a horror movie. And like every turn, like you were waiting for that jump scare, and it was just, it never came, and while it never really came, you were waiting for it. You were on the edge of your seat. You were waiting for it.
There was so much cool stuff. I was on the edge of my seat most of the times because the walls were closing in. Because the walls kept changing, the walls kept moving, the walls kept closing in. Are they going to get crushed? Are they going to make it out? And that's the best part about not coming in blind was that I didn't know what was going to happen, where everything was going to go. I didn't know what was going to happen. And but it was amazing to just be on the edge of my seat begging for these characters to make it out, wondering what's going to happen, who's going to make it out.
Now, what'd you think of the ending, is the question, because the ending seems to be the part that really kills most of the people who have not read the book's opinion on it. Now, the ending, for me, I liked it, but there were huge differences from the book. There were things that kind of nagged me a little bit, but I liked it. It was as accurate as it could possibly be. And there were some scenes that, granted, wouldn't have gotten a PG-13 rating, but they were there. But they did it. It's happening. Book two is being turned into a movie, and hopefully the other 4 books are getting turned into a movie as well. I mean, 3.
That's where it gets a little iffy for me. I mean, yes, the ending was good. The ending was plotted out well, but at the same time, it's just, it was obvious they shoehorned, there was like an extra, they just like shoehorned in, and oh, we're making a sequel, guys, this is happening, we're going to make another sequel. They kind of just shoehorned that in. To be honest, I could have just shaved, like, and there's a huge chunk of stuff that could have been cut out in the ending and I would have been fine with it.
So you're saying if that last minute had been cut off, it would have been kind of like Dawn of the Dead, where where it's just ambiguous what happens to them afterwards.
I kind of think it would have been. Yeah, exactly. Plus you and I were holding. Plus you and I had each drank a large soda, and we were really waiting for that thing to. We were waiting for it to end. So.
Which is a big reason why we don't know most of the actors' names, because we couldn't sit through the credits like usual, just to make sure we got certain people right, to see people's names right.
Because the second the credits began, we look like amateurs, but since we usually we would look like amateurs, but seeing as this isn't a Marvel movie, we ran.
Yeah, we ran like the characters in the movie.
But everything, despite everything, the movie was good. I'm gonna just rate it. I'm gonna give it a good 8 out of 10.
I am as well, because while there were faults, while there were all kinds of things that I could write into it as, while I could throw things away, just write it off as this is a good movie. This isn't a movie that is flawless. This movie has things that are kind of wrong with it, and I can't overlook it. In fact, going into this, I was like, I'm probably going to give this an 8 out anyway, because there's going to be some changes. It's not going to be a perfect representation, and that's pretty much what the critics think of it, maybe. But, I sat through this movie, I thought, these are the characters I read about, these are the characters that I saw in my head, and now they're coming to life on the screen, and I cannot wait for the Maze Runner Scorch Trials.
Alright guys, well that's it for us this week, or this time, whatever. We'll see you guys next time, but leave down in the comments, what did you think of the Maze Runner, if you saw it? And don't forget to leave us a like, comment, and subscribe.
No spoilers in the comments.
Or you are a Nazi. But more importantly guys, that's it for us. We will see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.